You've been promoted up from essentially a chief marketing officer job. There's a lot of temptation in executives when they're promoted from CMO into president or CEO to really be CMO plus, or CFOs who get promoted up and they're CFO plus, and they neglect the fact that they now manage the whole business. How do you avoid that temptation? How do you restructure your work behaviors and habits to make sure that you sit in that complete role? And that'll be advice for others who are going through the same journey.
I think you're absolutely right. You can fall in this trap of when you have bad days at work and you feel like you can't make any decisions, you can easily lean into the marketing job, for me, my old job, and start making decisions and feel like, you're doing something, but you really need to lean into the uncomfortable parts of the job and really learn, and leave the part that you know really well to somebody else that you trust.
So how do you do that? How do you go make sure that the other functions are operating the way that they need to operate?
Yeah, again, once you have that person in place to do your job, you just go in and ask questions. You don't, and I never came into the role thinking that I had all the answers. And in fact, I remember having this conversation when I was still a CMO, but I was going to oversee our broadcast team. And I didn't know the first thing about how to do a broadcast. And the Blazers have always done their broadcast internally. And I went to that leader and I said, I'm going to be overseeing this department, but I don't know a ton about it. I'm going to have a lot of questions, but I do think that this is what you guys being involved in the marketing department, here's what I think is going to help the team, but I'm going to have a lot of dumb questions. And he goes, ask as many questions as you want. Love that you're involved. Like, the fact that you're asking questions shows that you care about our department. So that lesson has stuck with me since then, because I don't think anybody, at least in our company, ever had the assumption that I knew everything about everything, and knew that as long as I was coming in, engaged and asking questions and trying to learn the business, that was the value that I would bring to those groups.